Hey there, in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 3 different ways to start an LLC in Arizona. But more important than that, I'm going to share with you crucial information that's going to keep your new business safe and protected. So if you're not familiar with terms such as commingling funds, piercing the corporate veil, or registered agent, don't worry, but just know that these terms are really important, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand how they impact your LLC. The first way to start your Arizona LLC is to go to the Arizona Secretary of State website. You can find a link for the state site and any resources mentioned in the description below. Once you create an account, you can then just go through the steps there to get your LLC set up. As you'd probably expect, the state website is not the prettiest or the easiest thing to navigate. But there are no fees involved except for the $50 state filing fee as of 2022, or if you want to do expedited filing, it's $85. There is no way around that fee. You are going to have to pay that if you go direct through the state or an online legal tool or through an attorney. The pros of using a state site are that there are no markups or upsells. The downside is that they're just not laid out well. So they make the registration process way more confusing than it needs to be. One of the other downsides of the state site is that they don't help you keep your LLC compliant, because the site really lacks the ability to remind you of important updates and renewal reminders. I'll explain this further, but first let's just talk about what an LLC actually is so that you understand how to maintain it properly. So a lot of people think that there's a tax advantage to having an LLC over a sole proprietorship, but actually that's not the case. The advantage of an LLC is the name itself. It's going to help limit your liability. So just imagine right now your business and all the assets. So this could be an office, the computers, your business bank account. Now on the personal side of your life, you might have a home, a vehicle, your personal bank account. So what an LLC does is it draws a line of division between the two asset classes. And that division is something called the corporate veil. So if somebody sues your business, they can try and come after your business assets, but the LLC and the corporate veil are going to protect your personal assets so that they can't come after things like your home or your personal bank account. So that is why an LLC is so important. Earlier I mentioned something called piercing the corporate veil. So what this legal jargon means is if your business is sued, the attorney suing your business is going to try to find these cracks in your LLC. And if they can find a crack, then they can pierce the corporate veil. And when this happens, they can come after your business and your personal assets. So that is why it is so important to not only set up an LLC, but you have to maintain it so that there are no cracks. Now I'd like to explain why the state site just is not great for maintaining your LLC. And I'm going to give you 3 examples. So a great service for setting up your LLC is a company called InkFile. It's an online legal tool, and you'll find a link in the description below that will take you to their website. And we really appreciate when you use that link because it helps to support the YouTube channel. The reason I like InkFile is that they have packages that start at $0 plus the state fee. And one of the perks of this $0 package is that you get a free registered agent service for a year. And this is the first reason why I prefer this site over the state site. So now let's just dive into what a registered agent is. Every LLC is required to have a registered agent. They're sometimes called a resident agent, statutory agent, or agent for service of process. The registered agent has to have a physical address in the state your LLC is set up, and this person is really there to help you with important communication and documentation such as like franchise tax forms, notices of litigation, tax and legal correspondence, and required annual report forms. So basically the registered agent helps keep your LLC in compliance. Now, if you go through the state website, they just ask for the name and the address of your registered agent, but there's not a lot of context behind that. If you go through InkFile, that service is free for the first year, and then it's $119 annually after that, and you can always change or drop the registered agent service at any time. Now, Another reason I like InkFile is that the state website does not help you with the federal aspects of your business. Here's a good example of this. Your LLC is set up through your state, but an EIN business tax number is set up through the IRS. And you can think of the EIN as a social security number that's going to be used to identify your business for tax purposes. So when you get set up through the state website, they do not help you at all with setting up your EIN number. And if you've never done it before, it can be kind of confusing. But in the middle tier package on InkFile, they will set up your EIN for you. I'll also include a link in the description below if you want to set up your EIN yourself on the IRS website. Now, I also want to highlight that they will set you up with a business bank account. This is really important to do from the beginning, and here's why. So not only does it make bookkeeping and accounting for your business way cleaner and easier, but you should also know if you're gonna run your business through your personal checking account, you are commingling funds. And that's because you have personal cash flow and then you have business cash flow all happening in the same account. This can create a crack in your LLC, and that could lead to an attorney piercing the corporate veil and then being able to come after your business and personal assets. So InkFile takes these things into consideration while the state site just sets up your LLC. The nice thing with InkFile is that your dashboard helps you to not only set up your LLC, but to maintain it and keep it compliant with annual reports or forms that need to be filed as well. On the screen here, you'll see a video that goes further into the dashboard and what it looks like after setting up your LLC. There will also be a video on how to pay yourself with an LLC. Again, thank you so much for using the links in the description below, and I'll catch you on the next video.